our after hours. Wow, that
Quick
was
question.
good.
Did
Yes, sir.
Shanine drop off? I don't see.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Last week, the same thing. We were into this thing real heavy, and I was like, all of us were ready to serve because many times on the call itself, there's certain things that we say and do that's better for the after call. That kind of happened today. And I wanted to sometimes we can't really communicate with each other because we're on one device. I got multiple devices. I'm texting and looking at people, but today, what a win for us. I tell you, get her done. That's a book that needs to be written. Shanine asked, what was that a book? That is one of the most powerful things I've learned from you, Alexi, was that, in my mind, if you always are thinking perfection, you'll realize there is no perfection. It's like the horizon with Dan Sullivan. Say the perfection is the horizon. And you're looking at it, you see the horizon, like, yeah, I'm gonna get there. And as you get closer to it, it just keeps moving away. It's an ideal. But when you get it done in this world, when your water turns to wine, there's actual wine, then I like what you said, you do 50%, and once it's done, people will start to interact with it and see it and give you honest opinions and evaluation, positive criticism, and then you can make it better. But that's that mastermind. One of the most powerful chapters of Think and Grow Rich is the mastermind. People have used it to amass fortunes. They've used it to better themselves. And that's what this really is, isn't it, Alexi? It's a mastermind.
It really is. That was the way the design. And here's the cool part, right? And I don't know if everybody sees it just yet. This has the ability to be the greatest ultimate mastermind by the people we choose to bring in, right?
Mhm.
By the amazing people that we get to meet and know and bring them in and literally take the cream off the top and let everybody enjoy it. I truly do believe that Ultimate Leadership Community and GPA will change the world, even to the greater level that we understand. Um, yeah, it truly is the power of the mastermind, right? Um, yeah.
Now, Julie, you're still with us out there in Albuquerque. When you talk about your life, Kambuchri pops up. And for those of you, I still have some left. Alfie, I've been holding on to some for you. You talk about delicious, and I think this is something spiritual going on because it's made with love. It's made with Kangen water. It's made by her. When I drink it, I put in this little nice little crystal looking glass, and it's like the finest wine, the finest elixir. And when I drink it on all levels, I feel better. So all of you, you need to take care of your bucha. Everyone. I mean,
I
yeah,
need
I'm
some
serious.
bucha.
It's not a word that you're going to hear at work or in school, your bucha. But this all began with a thought. You got to understand, she had an idea, and then all of a sudden it just transformed. And she got this place. She expanded it. When you go into the place and you see the detail, the wood, everything, the bathroom is a work of art. So every aspect of it is her. So when you look at your life and you go visit somebody, like my mama said, when I was a little boy, she said, when you grow up and have a girlfriend, I said, ew, that's how young I was. Ew, girlfriend, I ain't in. She said two things. If you go in their house and they have a dirty kitchen and a dirty bathroom, get out. That person is dirty. So you are a reflection. Your body is a reflection of your soul, of your spirit, and then where you live. And if you're not happy with circumstances, conditions, your environment, your bank account, or anything, the answer is you. Everything is within. That's why I'm so excited about a very unusual book. Alexi gave me this book a long time ago. Money's not the problem. You are. Because money is like water. It's going to go where it wants to go. But I always tell you, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And money's like a woman. If you don't treat her right, she'll leave you. So you have to have a certain understanding of money. And if you want to learn about money, Muhammad hit me up to an old preacher man that I knew years ago, Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike breaks down money, because I didn't realize this until I did my research lately. I've listened to a lot of his YouTube. Do you know that his congregation, I don't believe you heard me. I said his congregation was 1.5 million people. Homeboy had a church in stadiums. He fills stadiums, and from people from all walks of life. Some of them was them baby boomers that we become, those elderly, and they were there to learn principles of prosperity that you can have now, today, right now, so that you don't have to die to have your pie in the sky. He was teaching positive mental thinking. He called it the life. And I'm telling you, if you don't have, if you have things that are unconscious negatives or the prompters about money, unconscious, they affect you. They affect you. And if you're not happy with your bank account, and there was a time where I would look at my bank account, I would go, wee. When you get a check so big, you go like, that's my name. I think they're overpaying me, but don't tell nobody. When you got that kind of prosperity money where you can listen to that song, and I think it's going to be our prosperity theme song. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Money is coming to me. And you know, I don't know how, I don't know why. That goes back to what we discussed today. When you make a decision, you don't have to try to figure out every detail of it. You don't know the road. When you drive from here to New York at night, you're not seeing New York. You're not seeing the state. You see about 200 yards at a time where your headlights show. But you have the faith that if I keep moving forward, I'm going to reach my destination. But enjoy the journey. And I'm a person that knows how to get on the road. So, Mr. Alexi.
Mr. Michael, before Ms. Julie shares, I just wanted to share something really quickly before I had to exit out of today. One of the things that Janine was talking about that I wanted to share in the after hours, because I wanted to be respectful of the time, is
Thank you.
she talked about really, you know, what I call networking up, right? When you reach out to that individual that can, make or break your success, your momentum. And the thing that I put it actually in the chat was, you got to build the foundation before you build a high scraper. Because if you build a high scraper, right, if you start networking up, trying to reach out to these amazing individuals that have already done their foundation and they have paid the price for their success, it's very likely that your first opportunity to meet them will potentially be your last. But a solution to that I have found is, I talk about network wide before you network up, meaning add value to the people that are around you first, create a network, and then when you reach out, you network up, you have the network to support that foundation, to support your reach out. Because now when you are reaching out to that mentor, that somebody that you've been inspired by or would just love to do business with, if they have a request, if they have a need, you can actually serve it, not through yourself, because that might be the thing that you could do for them, but you have the network of like-minded individuals that can satisfy their need, their desire, and therefore you never fall. You get supported by your foundation. So I just wanted to share that. That was the biggest thing that I've learned, being in some of the most important rooms in my life, is that when I were networked wide first, everybody knew me in that room. Whenever I needed introduction to that guest speaker or to that person that I was networking up with, I didn't have a problem, because everybody knew that I was a person of value and they knew the people in the room. So that's just a nice secret or a hack that anybody can use.
I love that word hack. I saw you in action on the ship, to where he was just joining people. I was just kind of floating around, because again, you're going to do what's comfortable, but many times your success, your growth is outside of your comfort zone. Speaking of comfort zones, Miss Julie, you live many times out of that comfort zone, on the road, going here, going there, meeting people, running a business, running a house. How do you do it?
It's trust. It's absolutely trust. Because I don't have the answers. I just believe. I believe, because that's what I've learned. And somebody just asked me yesterday, who's starting their own new business, you know, what do you think is a very important thing about starting a new business? And I said, the same thing Lexi said, the people you surround yourself with and what goes on in your mind. It's belief, it's trust. I believe that God has brought me to this place for good reason. And I'm not going to listen to the bullshit that goes on in my own head. I just won't do it. I refuse. And it's tenacity, it's perseverance, it's love with the people that are around you that support you, like this group, like Ted Archuleta, because it's hard to find the exact right people. We talk about, you know, building that foundation, and we continue to seek the right help. We need help, but it has to be the right help, right? And you learn from mistakes if you're too open-hearted, like I am, to be a little bit more guarded and a little bit more inquisitive, ask more questions in order to make those steps really count. And I think the other big thing, and I don't really like this word, but you do have to be patient. You must wait, because waiting is key for timing and for the abundance that you're meant to have to come. But so much of it is just belief, right? You have to believe in what you're doing. That I believe that we are in this space for a good reason, supporting a healthy product, living water, living kombucha. And there's people making kombucha on every corner. So what? This is what we're doing, and we want to be in the community and show the love and the light. And that's what I believe that we're doing. So I just try desperately to stay the course, because you get tired. People say to me, oh, aren't you sorry you started that business? No, I'm not. I'm thrilled, because what else would I be doing? Watching the days of our lives?
Yeah.
I mean, no. I want to be in the life. I want to be in the world. I don't want to be of the world, but I want to be in it. I want to
committed.
be in the game. So that's the thing. Servant leadership means you work. And if you have trust in your strength, as I do, then I don't have to be tired, because he gives me what I need when I need it, as long as I'm patient to know if I don't have it, I must not need it.
Miss Alma, come on now.
I just want to say thank you, guys. I have to go. I have my a patient coming in, and you guys are just amazing. Keep up believing in yourself, and in coming back to the community and coming back to the support, you know, and express that. And Julie, you're absolutely right. It's being patient. Because like we were talking about, it will show up and we'll be ready for it. Sometimes when we're not patient and we get something that we're not ready for, it falls away, and you don't want that. The more patient you are, everything works out the way it's supposed to be. I'm learning that. It's hard for everyone to learn that, but having the community, the support and love around you makes it much easier to be patient. So I want to send all my love to you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Okay, I'll talk to you guys. Love you
Thank you,
guys.
Thank
Bye.
you, Alma. I like the way Julie said there's a word I don't like, patient. I like the way you kind of
And I think an important thing, I just have to add that while you're being patient, that is not a stagnant place. That needs to be a place in motion. If I'm waiting on one side in this lane, then I'm using the other lane. I'm still flowing. I think that's an important piece. Patience is not sit on your hands. It's not sit. It is still stay in the flow, but be open to what you are supposed to have at this moment.
I like the way you said that. And Julie, to be patient, you have to have that belief. If you have the belief, then you can be patient. But if you don't have that foundation of belief, patient can turn into procrastination.
Right.
Another thing that hit me while you were talking, when you're being patient, you also you need to be grateful. Because when you're grateful in that patience, you're in the game. You're thanking God for all the things and how far you've come. Because as I look at you, and I've known you for a little bit of time here, you've come such a long way. Not just your business or the external, the essence of you. Yeah, because a lot of this stuff was given to you by your father. You know, he's a great man, and he lived it. But as we grow up, we've got the original caregivers, we've got the corporate indoctrination camp, we call it the school system, the media, all these forces, the race mind. That's why I love you say, I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. You know, find out what the masses are doing and do the complete opposite. Well, like you said, everyone's doing kombucha, but nobody got bucha like you. I know this because I was drinking that crap, that Synergy and all that stuff in the store. You know, I was drinking it and
So sugar.
yeah, sugar. And when I saw what you had to go through to create it, I'm like, I couldn't do that. So that's what's so beautiful. Each one of you has something inside of you. I don't know how these people, I turned off my devices. I have them on, well, I got to put on airplane mode, but the phone is on silent, but the iPad's, well, I'll talk. These things get, and sometimes I'm talking and that Siri thing will just start talking. I'm talking to you. These things, it's like they possessed or something. But going back to each one of us has something inside of us that was planted by a higher source, your purpose, your definite purpose in life, something in you that maybe people said, nah, that won't work. You can't do that. You can't make money at that. And it's not all about money. When you find that something that you're meant to do and you become good at it because you love it, somebody is going to see value. Everybody needs something that somebody else got. It's that transaction. And with GPA, I'm so excited I can't sleep at night. I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, thinking about you guys, thinking about our purpose, our synergy of coming together, where I've never experienced anything like this. And I've been in over 30 different organizations and companies, but nothing's come close to this, to where Saturday morning when I wake up, I'm like, here we are. And time is going by fast. It's not an illusion. My grandfather told me, boy, when you get older, time go by fast. I'm like, he must be crazy. There's only so many hours in a day, but it's our perception of time. It's our perception of age. You know, here I am feeling like I'm 30 something, and that's just the way I feel. But you know what? It feels good because I've seen people 30 that act like they're 50. It's all your perception. And so we've gone through the paradigm shift with Bob Proctor, and we talked about the magic of believing. And there's a song by Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Yeah, I can't sing. We got Joy to sing. But when we have our events, I will not sing on stage. I give you my word, because I suck. Look at Alfie smiling. She's like, yeah, you sure do. But in the shower, in the bathroom, because of the acoustics, shoot, I sound like my boy, you know, Luther Vandross, because Luther is bad. What you guys are doing today is your life. You got one day today. I was telling Mo this morning, when I wake up in the morning, it's like I'm born again. It's like a rebirth. Today is your life. It's like a lifetime. So when tonight, you'll go back into the sleep, back into the non-consciousness as we know it, and rejuvenate and rest and sometimes have dreams. And then tomorrow's another day. Live each day like it was your last. Because if you do that every day, one day you're going to be right. You're going to wake up and that's going to be your last day. And there's one thing we teach here. There's one word you don't want. And I've seen it in old folks' homes. I've seen it with some of the elderly I've met, and it's regrets. If I woulda, if I coulda, if I shoulda. I did this, I did that. And most people, when they get to that age, you know, longevity has its place. People don't say, I should have made more money. I needed a better, faster car. I needed a bigger house. I should have spent more time with my children doing homework. I should have spent more time with my grandkids. I should have went on that vacation to meet that land. Because for some of us, success is different, but it's in you. So you're doing what you want to do. You're doing what most people can't not do. If somebody gave me $1 million to open up a kombuchery and do what you did, I'd be like, well, that's $1 million I'm not going to see, but I'm doing what God wanted me to do. Here's the question to you guys. What is it that is inside of you, again, that was planted there by a higher source, That desire, you didn't create it. It's in you, created by a higher source. What is it? If you had $10 million, what would you do with your life? What would you do differently? What would you do first? Do that thing. And for some of you, very few, it's going to be what I feel. I want to be significant to others. I want to be a light to others. I get off when people say thank you. And so today, I'm meeting James Chong, who's Korean. When he meets you, he'll say, my name is James Bond. I go, that's your real name? He goes, no. But when I tell people that, they remember me. My name is James Chan. And so now I call him Bond, 007.
Yeah.
And I meet with him today. He wants to join us so bad that he calls me daily. Alfie Faye wants to join us so bad. She's joined. She calls me and pinches me daily, because your life is daily. So when you have those long-term goals, Lexi talked about something 10 years out. Talk to these little young kids. They ain't thinking 10 years out. They're not thinking 10 days out. They're
That's
all
right.
about now, because this thing right here,
Congratulations.
this thing right here is a computer that has all types of access to all types of information and knowledge, but not all knowledge is going to be beneficial for that person at that time. You see, knowledge can be dangerous without wisdom. That's what we have here. We have wisdom. And wisdom doesn't come at 17, 18, or 20 something. Wisdom comes with time like wine. And for me to experience the love, the sharing, the compassion, the empathy, the things that we're going through as a community, it's priceless. Miss Joy.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I had my hand raised in this. I'm on my
I
iPad.
saw your hand, because once Joy learned how to do
I
this,
didn't know that was on.
okay, when she learned how to do this, it was over.
But
Can
Julie?
I jump in again really quick?
Well, if you
I
do
just-
like this, I guess so, Julie.
No, I want to add to that, because what I want to say in regards to our global prosperity movement, we need to increase this information to the youth, to those 20, 30-year-old kids. Don't wait until you're 60 to do it. Learn how to do it now while you're young and you have time for all that interest to build, for all that maturity to build. I want this movement to extend, and I want each of us to know that your maturity, your learning can save vast amounts of steps for the youth. So let's get the younger kids involved. And they're not even kids, right? They're adults, but they are so lost. I mean, what they spend their time on, I want to be part of that movement to that generation.
that's what I was
Well,
going to speak to, Julie. That's
yes,
exactly what I was going to speak
That's
to.
what Joy's been working on with Mo. Go ahead, Joy.
Because I have been reaching out, and I do use the social media platforms, and I do talk to them, because these young kids are so lost, like you said, and they're boxing themselves in these categories and labels. Generation X, Generation Z, and there's expectations and limitations in these boxes. And my message to them, because we see everything falling apart, and the box that we've been trying to tell you to think outside of no longer exists. You have the opportunity now to paint your own picture. So that's why, like the questions that you were asking, Michael, what is burning deep inside of you? What is their desires? And these are the things that I'm speaking to. What are the desires? What's been burning inside of your heart that you've always wanted to do? This is young people, but this is old people too, because they've been trapped in working 40 hours a week, and they've never had the opportunity to do these things. So these young people right now are very negative. They're very dark, and they're afraid, and they have no one to turn to. So right now I'm shining the light on them, because everything that we're going through is because everything has always been about controlling us, telling us how to think, telling us what to do, instead of trusting and working with our own hearts and working with what's deeply inside of us and bring that out. So the questions that's on this questionnaire, that's on the website, they're filling it out, with regard to projects, but I look at projects as your dreams. And so now I'm getting the positive responses. Some of these kids have amazing, amazing projects. And then some people are just stuck in AI. They can't think for themselves anymore. That's the dangers of it in a way, with chat and all these other AI. Kids aren't thinking for themselves anymore. They want people to think for them. But that's
I
it.
totally agree. I agree. And please tag me on any social media posts that you're doing so I can also benefit from those posts and also benefit the small audiences that I have, because I feel so strongly about that. I mean, that's who was in here yesterday. Little babies starting their business to help youth coming out of the foster. She was a blind woman starting her own business. I mean, what an inspiration. I hope to have her on the call soon.
Well, I'm on TikTok right now. I'm about to filter that over to Instagram, but I'm getting a lot of feedback on TikTok. And it's under New Paradigm Network. Yeah, and I'm speaking to honestly, Julie, people that look like me. We are so messed up. We really need to get our minds right and stop the division. We've got to come together as living on this planet, because anyway, and I'm showing them the light. I'm showing them the light and letting them know that they are the light. It's
Good.
always been about us.
Because it's
Every
always the
single
you.
person.
It's the you. It's totally the you.
It's
And
the
check
you.
out on TikTok. They just did a huge video for us from Visit ABQ. I don't have the TikToks, but they did a big video of us on TikTok. And I think you can see it under Visit ABQ.
Okay, Visit ABQ. That's funny, the TikToks. I have a friend that calls it the UB Tubies.
I like that ticky. I got that ticky top. Anyone else want to share before we move on and live our lives? Anybody
Matt,
else?
how have you been?
Been good. Been around and about. I just went to Miami and yeah, that was an experience. Did a 4-day road trip, 2 days there with a friend and came back. And just going about it because it was a different experience. I don't know if you guys ever drove cross country, but
I have. You drove 2 days straight to Miami?
pretty much a lot of Red Bulls. I really wanted to take longer because you have to enjoy cross country because so much to see. It really is a beautiful thing. But it was a close friend of mine and he needed me to go. So I was like, why not? Let's go. And it was quite a unique experience because I've never done it before. The furthest I've drove to is Chicago. And then it's still, it's not much further than Chicago, but the different states that you get to see. And we actually went through Louisiana, and we caught some rainstorm there that was pretty intense. So, but it was a unique experience. It was very uplifting. We had a lot of good talk. He's somewhat of a quiet guy, so
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know if it was for him wanting to get some stuff off his chest or if he needed to just get out and get his mind clear. But it was fun. It was definitely an experience you guys got to check out because like I said, there's so many different wonders of the world all through different states, and you get to meet different people and just different sides of life. It was pretty cool.
So
And then when you go to Florida, it's even crazier.
Yeah.
That's like the mecca of just different people, different walks of life, different mindsets. It was pretty fun. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. And then I'm just back here actually getting ready to go back to work now. I'm going to be heading back to work on the 18th, which I've had a 6 month hiatus, which is always nice. Yeah, you get to really dig down deep when you get that much off. You really don't want to go back. And, exactly what you guys were saying is that a lot of people that get caught up into that familiarity of being comfortable to the 9 to 5 and just feeling that you do live in a box. You just go here, you go there, go home, eat, go to bed, go to work, go home, just the same thing over and over. It gets comfortable and you just kind of lose track of what you're doing until 5 years go by, 10 years go by. And some people don't even ever wake up to it
Mhm.
because they get conditioned into believing this is what I got to do and this is normal. So, I'm very grateful for my job for UPS, and I'm very blessed to have that foundation of what Alexi's talking about. But I do feel venturing off is a better idea for me than staying at where I'm at, because I know with UPS I'm just gonna go right back into it. It's just a matter of time. It's not a question, it's just when. So it's either I push myself to either become a higher up position of driving the big feeder trucks where I'm literally going state to state, or I venture off into a different avenue. So right now that's on my plate and that's what I'm looking to do. And I could say before I would be nervous about thinking about doing that, but I'm confident, and what Julie said is just trusting it, just trust. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trusting it. Whatever is right for me is right for me. I'm not going to question it or just say, no, I don't want to do it. I'm going to do my best to become a feeder driver. If that's the way I'm going to go, that's what I'm going to do. And if something else comes around, then so be it. I'm going with the flow. I'm not going to try to fight anything anymore. And I'm
That's
not going
it.
to try to predict like, oh no, this is what I wanted. This is what my mind told me I wanted, and yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to do my best with what I know and go from that and, trust the outcome.
Parlay,
And like
parlay. The answer is
parlay.
parlay. Use what you have where you are to go.
That's right. That's
Parlay,
right.
parlay.
Follow your heart. That's right.
Yeah.
Parlay.
And like you're not alone. You've got us to support you on whatever
Oh
you
yeah,
do.
100%.
Now I know you've been traveling because every time I see you up in the mountains, you're up in the valleys, and to drive. How long were you there in Miami once you guys got there?
Not long.
Yeah,
Almost, what, I'd say about 8 or 9 hours.
that's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
call a turnaround. Well,
Right?
some people will
I don't know
never
how
ever do that.
I'm still alive from that, but um
Who did most of the driving?
we split it. Because I like to drive, so that's not an issue, but he wanted to drive as well. So I mean, we had a nice vehicle, so it wasn't that much of an issue.
Oh yeah, driving is fun when you have two people. I know Texas was a day. You passed through New
Oh
Orleans,
yeah.
stopped and got a nice meal with my mama, and then of course Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and then once you get to the top of Florida, it's about a 10-hour drive to go there and all the way down. But congratulations on your trip, and
Thank you.
and on being a good husband and father. I know that's the main thing, but we provide and protect. That's what we do. And you've been on a vacation, man. You've been traveling, so welcome back.
I'm living the dream, really, really living the dream, because once you get to step out of that box that, you know, the rat race you get caught up in. There's a whole nother world out there. It really is. It really is. And it's powerful. I mean, you get that taste of goodness of, you know, not having to worry about what you got to do, but still being productive, but just not having that constant rat race mentality is something that's I think everybody should feel.
Well, they have to be aware of it. We call the matrix, you know, the job.
Yeah,
But what you're talking about
sure.
in essence is freedom, to have financial freedom and time freedom. A lot of people have financial freedom, but they don't have time. You know, people have a lot of time, but they ain't got no money. So blessed is the man who
Yep.
has the balance, and that's what we teach here at GPA, and we're behind you 100%. We love you, man.
Thank you.
Mr. Max.
love you guys
I call
too.
him Maximilian. Anyone else want to
Mhm.
share before we go? Anyone? All right. Well, I've got to get out of here and get to the beach, one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. I was there yesterday. It's going to be a double header. Miss Alfie, you've got what, about 3-4 days to move on up. We're
I
with
don't have that many.
Well, you got 2, but you say you're going to take a couple more.
If I'm gonna try not to.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, again, it's all about change. She's uncomfortable because she's moving, but she's about to be real comfortable with her family, especially her grandkids. Joy's getting ready to see her granddaughter, the love of her life, and all of us. We'll see you guys next week. Do the work. And you talk about reaching young people. That's Carolyn. Carolyn, boy, you talk about some young peoples from all walks of life, and some of them, I say, you know, where are you guys going? Do you know your next class? Do you know where you're going? Not a lot of hands go up, but they've got great direction from her. So, you know, thank you for
You're
all
too
that you
kind. You're too kind.
do. You have been dedicated for how many years, Carolyn? How many years have you been teaching?
30.
That ain't kind, baby. That's just real. That's 30 years of giving, 30 years of teaching. And we all know teachers don't get rich by teaching, at least not in a bank account, but they get rich with a lot of children that will meet her from time to time and say, hey, I remember you. You're one of my good teachers. Because some teachers are just
Yeah,
there.
you do get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to just add a little bit. The students today, and Joy touched on it partially. They just haven't had the guidance and training that parents of people born in the baby boom generation had. They gave you the solid. They haven't had even that. And I just got through with a lesson on etiquette, just being politeness and how to approach people. And they don't know that a lot of what exists in the workforce, you go to for jobs. You need to already know that. Otherwise, your name goes to the bottom of the list. So anyway, be that as it may. Thanks for acknowledging.
It is what it is, and you deserve everything that you get in life. I know that not only career, but also being kind of like the matriarch of your family. Because we realize, Carolyn, a lot of time we have problems and challenges, but they're not our own. They're other people that we're caring for,
This is true.
that we're
This is
helping.
true.
And so, all right, you guys, anybody else before we go?
So are we still doing Facing the Giant?
Yeah. Yeah, Facing the Giant is the movie of the month, and Money's Not the Problem. You Are is the book of the month.
Money's not the problem. Okay. Just
Now, Alfie, we have that relationship. I'm supposed to be your mentor. I'm your coach. I'm accessible. You know, when you call me, I feel important. But I know you're moving. But Alfie call me every day when she be walking. Alfie walk every day. Now she's walking, carrying stuff to her vehicle so she can move to a way better place, a place of love. And I just love what you're going through. That change. The only thing that doesn't change is change itself. So all of you, see you guys next week. And come in at 10:30. I'll have a surprise for you. What is it? Can't tell you. It's a surprise. Love you guys.
Bye.
all right. Bye. Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend.
You
Have
too.
a great strong.